Hello, beauties. Hi, everyone. Gentlemen, too. Handsome gentlemen, whatever. Hope you guys are doing good. This is not going to be a long live uh, because I just wanted to come on here and talk to you guys for a minute. Let's have a little talk, okay? Because I'm so tired. Well, not that I've seen it like consistently, but I've seen it enough where I want to go over a few things with you. First off, I hope you guys are all having a great Tuesday. Hey everyone, the Magician's Manor, how are you? I don't know if you're still in here. Siren, Tracy, um, Shalma, how are you? Hey that girl. I want to go over a few things and talk to you guys. Some of you guys probably won't know what I'm talking about in the beginning, but you will know what I'm talking about as this live progresses, okay? Because I'm going to take it back with you guys. Hold on. Yes, I will come on. I will be coming on camera, Ruthann. Thank you. Um, one Pop Tart. Oh my gosh, my boys love Pop Tarts. Hey, Chris. Hey, Just Jill. My boys love them some Pop Tarts. Hey, Goose. Okay, let's start. So yesterday there was a live that I don't know if anybody is familiar with True Teller. Some of you guys may be, some of you guys may not. So bear with me. Hey, Mrs. Portland, bear with me if you don't know what I'm talking about, because I will get to what I need to talk about, which is actually really important. So there was a live stream done, and it was talked about how Lindsay, we all know that there's a lot of stuff going on with Lindsay right now. And, it's definitely something to, pay attention to, you guys. But what I will say is that Lindsay reached out to me because she wanted to know my experience with two mods that I had that are no longer mods. And it was a while ago, but she just wanted to know my experience. And then someone else had asked me, um, a lot of people had asked me, and I addressed it because I wanted to. I think it is I think it's very um depending upon who you are, how outspoken you are, and me being a creator, it's definitely something that I held in for a while, but I want to be clear. The things that I addressed with the live that I did, there is a live that I did um that I talked about why we parted ways. Not the personal, technically, issues of why we parted ways, but mostly why they were no longer mods. And you'd have to go refer back to that live. But the thing is, what I really, really want to stress is that she's obviously, Lindsay's not the only person who's reached out to me because of the things or their experiences, and they wanted to know. You ever experience something with somebody or notice something about somebody, and then you reach out to somebody that they used to know or something and be like, hey, did you go through this too? It wasn't in a malicious way. In my end, it wasn't malicious. I just told her about my experience, which I have every right to. And just like if somebody reaches out to them, they have every right to tell that person about their experience. That's their choice. I don't know if it was malicious intent coming from Lindsay's side, but I know that it wasn't malicious intent from me talking about my experience, nor was it malicious when I went live about it. When a lot of people are seeing things like, you know, a person hopping from panel to panel, which that doesn't happen anymore. Boston obviously does not go from panel to panel, but it was always an ongoing issue with her. This is clear. This was obviously something that a lot of people noticed. not just me enduring it myself, but other people would notice it too. The point is that when people notice things or people ask you questions, you have every right to address it. Now, some creators will address it privately, but if somebody asks me in the comment section or whatever the situation is, and even if it wasn't in the comment section, I have a right to address it as well, especially when other people have had the same problem in the past like I have. I want to make that clear. And even though I may have talked about my experiences with them, I still talked about the good things about them too. Okay. So let's be clear about that. I didn't just, I tried not to just focus on the things everyone else had a problem with them, and my problem with them. But I also tried to talk about I also tried to talk about things that I did like about them and that were special about them. But regardless, I just want to make that perfectly clear that everyone, I'm not going to sit here and talk about why, I guess it coincides with each other, but I'm not going to sit here and talk about why I'm no longer friends with them. I was talking about addressing why they were no longer mods. Um, Regardless, that is why TT wanted to know everything that was going on or why Lindsay came to me for information or whatever. Like I said, it wasn't malicious on my part. You're allowed to talk about your experiences, especially as a creator. It's your choice. If you want to do it privately, it's different if you're talking about that person's personal life and throwing them on blast and talking about, oh, they do this in their life and they do that in their life. But when you're talking about your personal experience with them as mods or whatever, you have a right to that. That's your choice. And some people would rather not address it at all. And that's their choice too. And I've definitely had people, not a lot, ask me about why, like, Melissa was no longer a mod. And even when they would ask me, most people never really asked me in the comment section. But the only reason why I didn't address Melissa is because Melissa doesn't have that problem with going from panel to panel or, how people were thinking, Boston knew everything and things like that. She wasn't having that problem. So why would I address her? You know what I mean? It was mostly people asking me about my experience with Heather and Boston. And I wish them well and I wish them the best. But that's what I wanted to address really quickly before we move on. So I want to talk about something real quick. Hold on. Okay. So I am really, 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 really tired of one, people being so judgmental, and two, people always throwing up the race card. I am so sick of it that I'm sick of it, okay? It is disgusting. Have any of you ever, ever, ever in your life, whether I'm talking about in your adult life, um, have you ever um, did something you regret? Spoke to somebody that you regret? Even if it had something to do with, I don't know, people on the outside telling you, Tia, be careful, whatever. I want people to understand that you need to quit being so judgmental towards people. And I'm not even necessarily talking about myself because I see it all over the place. I'm getting tired of it. Quit walking around judging people because of the choices that they make. Have you ever in your life made a choice that you regret? ever done anything that you regret in this community? Now, let me be clear here. I have never, nor would I ever do anything like go real life. I would never even bash anybody for their looks because I don't do that. That other creator, she can bash me all day, I don't give a fuck. I don't do that because I don't have to. Okay. I don't need to bash people for their looks. I don't need to do that. I know what I look like. I know what I look at in the mirror every day. So there's no reason for me to talk about anybody else's looks. But the point is, have you ever done anything in your life, in your adult life, where you're just like, "Oh man, I can't believe I did that. I should have paid attention to what was going on around me. I should have listened to this person when they told me this, or I should have listened to that person and I seen the signs right in front of me." Are you being tormented by somebody that you made a bad choice with in this community? Be really careful with who you judge on what it is that they choose to do. Because just like I said, I was talking to that girl, and that girl was like, no, because you have other creators like, oh, all these people that hate me are in her comment section, blah, 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 blah. And that girl was like, what did she say? It was funny as fuck. She's like, no, we never stopped coming. We just came back because obviously people did not like the fact that that creator was on my channel. They didn't like it. Okay. And some people watch silently. Some people are like, I can't with this. Tia, it's not going to work. This is not you, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You live and you learn. Quit walking around judging people because I'm pretty sure a lot of you out there are being stalked and all that kind of stuff from decisions that you have made. And you don't deserve to be judged by it just as much as other people don't deserve to be judged by the decisions they make. And it's not that you think it's never going to happen to you. You don't think about it at all. That's the thing. You just don't. Period. Okay, so I want to share my screen real quick because this whole hold on, I was reading something. This whole race card thing and all that kind of stuff is going to be addressed right now. And said, we've always been here just waiting. Now we're back. This wasn't about them. Exactly. That's what I meant. Like people, some people, if they don't like who you align yourself with, they're going to back the fuck away, and it's some people will sit there and wait like, oh my gosh, I just want to slap her and tell her, what's going to happen. But you have to understand from a person's perspective. You have to look at it from the other side. You cannot just sit there and judge and be like, what did you think? It was never going to happen to you? Or, 2 weeks ago, a week ago, you were just on her panel defending her. That's not the way it works. Something can happen to you tomorrow that can change your mind about something. Or sometimes it can take a year. But when you're being so judgmental like that, it's going to bite you in the ass, period. Because people are too judgmental in this world. I would never judge anybody by the mistakes that they've made now or in the past. It doesn't matter as adults, whatever. We are human and we are going to make mistakes. No, Siren, we're just human and we're going to make mistakes. There are going to be decisions that we make that may not be the best one, and you have to learn from it. And if you don't learn from it, then okay, but if you learn from it, that's great. I think some people are just more forgiving than others. Some people look at things from a perspective of, okay, I see this side, but I don't see the other side. You have to, before you judge somebody, you need to look at, you have to understand that you don't know that person and what they see. Just because you see something doesn't mean they see the same things that you see. It doesn't matter how many videos are out there. It doesn't matter how many people tell you. If you want to do something, you're going to do it. And either you're going to say, well, I told you so, but I'm still here for you, or you're going to say, I told you so, and walk away. Either way, you still have to, walking around judging somebody as if you haven't made mistakes, or if you haven't thought to yourself, damn, I shouldn't have did that. Now it's all coming back on me and everybody's judging me and this person's a psycho and blah, 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 blah. Those things happen. And it's going to happen all throughout our lives. Quit judging people. It's wrong. Okay. So I'm going to take it back a little bit. Hold on. Okay, I gotta take it all the way back out here. Oh. Damn, you never realize how many videos you do until you go fucking look at them, right? Whoops. Okay. Okay, I'm back. You guys can still hear me the whole time. I have not been judged for not judging people recently. That's good, beautifully broken. All right. So I'm going to take it to this video right here. Let me share my screen real quick. Don't worry, I will be reading comments. Share the screen. Guys, remember, I suck at this. Okay, I want to show you guys something really quick. Now, listen, this is, from what I heard, Critical K has changed. I don't know if she's changed. I haven't watched her enough to know if she's changed. But I'm going to
every computer
show
in
you
your
guys
house, your
something.
mom's, your dad's, your sister, your brother's computer.
Kate is the one that
Let's take it to the beginning. This was a long time ago, you guys. This was almost a year ago. Behind the scene. Behind the scene. Because you damn sure can't say it to my face. So, I want to remind you guys. Hold on. To hear about them, I don't know for sure if I'm going to open the panel or not. Where did it go? Okay. Whoops. All right. I'm going to show you guys something real quick. Never mind. I'll just look my damn self. Hold on. Okay. Never mind. You guys see it? All right. So this is the stuff that I want to show you guys. Okay. Some of it. I'm not going to show you all of it because I'm sure that, some of you guys have seen this already. I don't know personally who made this. I know that it's a YouTube channel that's, she used to do it. I don't know if she did, but there's some things I want to show you of what I did my own research and found some things for myself. And this is where you can understand why I say the things that I say. Okay? So as you can see here, this is all CK. There's her picture. Okay, there's her picture. So let me just show you why this was made. The harassment, cyberbullying, and victim shaming of murder victims. It comes to our attention that Kate is indeed herself guilty of cyberbullying and online abuse. She has used her YouTube channel and corresponding Facebook group to spread hate and venom at the murder victims, their families, her former YouTube co-host, as well as former Facebook group members. She has disparaged them and mocked them all in the cruelest ways. Okay. Now, most of you guys know that she does not have, what do you call it? All of her videos are now down. They're not down, but they are behind Patreon. So there's only so much you can see. So I've never doxed anyone, never called anyone's. I don't care about what these things are. I just don't care. I really don't. Okay, so these are the things that she said about George Floyd, okay? I'm just making sure you guys can hear me. Okay. I'm sick and tired of the boo-hooing over this dude. He is not a whatever that is. And this was not a murder. He killed himself with his poor choices and stupid behavior. He makes me want to vomit when he yells, "Mama, ugh." This is by CK. Sometimes when grown men struggle and fight, someone might die. Why didn't Floyd just get in the damn cruiser? Why don't you ever have an explanation for that? Why did Garner fight and struggle against the cops? Just comply. Better yet, clean your freaking act up and stop being a nuisance to the cops and making yourself a target. I know plenty of Black men who don't have these problems. So why is it always one or two that have a history of criminal death in my eyes? I don't get all riled up just because cops are involved. And frankly, I don't understand the selective outrage in their ranks. Combat roles generally are best suited to well-trained, high testosterone men. Those men tend to have little impulse control with women. Moral of the story, women should not be in combat roles. And if they demand to be, they need to learn how to deal with these situations or even attempt a combat position. Sorry about that, you guys. I don't want to get into too much of that, so I apologize. Sorry, I was on mute. I was only talking for a second, but what I'm trying to say is I don't want to get too far into that. I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of an example of, and I will put that live in the description of this video, okay? But I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an example of why I have my feelings towards CK. I have my own opinion about the George Floyd situation as well. Was George Floyd a good man? No, that's true. He wasn't. He's done some pretty bad things. He has. However, that whole situation set the world on fire and it forced us to see things that exist that people want to ignore. Okay. And even though he may have been a bad person, he didn't deserve that. I don't care what anybody says. So that's why I wanted to bring that up. And that is why I've always had my feelings towards CK. That's not the only thing that's in there. There's a lot of things in there. And like I said, I will link it if you want to watch it for yourself. I always encourage you guys everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Okay. Everyone. And I always encourage you guys to do your own research. Don't just go by what I say. Don't just go by what anybody says. Do your own research and form your own opinions, your own individual opinion, and you're entitled to it. There's nothing I can do about that. But that's why I've always had my feelings about CK and the things that she has said, the horrible racist things that she has said, has made me always look at her that way. And I am really, really tired of people always trying to disregard what Black people say and how they express themselves because of always trying to disregard it by pulling up the race card. I'm tired of that. Can I stop it from happening? No, it's always going to happen. That's always going to happen. It's always, no matter what you say, no matter how you express your opinion, it's always you're throwing up the race card. And we all know who's been saying that, which I don't really give a fuck. You can, you can talk to somebody and think that they're one way because of something that happened a long time ago. And then after you're personally treated a certain way, then you could look back and say, okay, now it makes sense. Now I see what everyone's talking about. Quit trying to act like you're so perfect that you have never been in that situation. And if you haven't, you've lived a very sheltered life. Okay? I feel like CK brushes it off as a joke and people should get over it. You're right. You're right, Mandy. Okay, so the next person is somebody that's, I'm not going to say her name. I'm not going to say her name. But what I will say is that I don't know how she is now. I don't know if she still says the N-word. I know that she said that she's going to stop. But she's somebody who publicly admitted that she used to have to she publicly admitted that she used to have to stop herself from saying the N-word. Okay. And to me, that's a no-no. And then there's other things that I've seen that's just definitely looking at you sideways. But the point is that really, really does have to stop. Let me see here. In my opinion, only a racist says someone is using the race card. I agree, Jill. Where you at? I agree. I unsubbed and resubbed. YouTube. Okay, thank you, Lana Punky. It's a good point. It is a good point. Or always remember that somebody who's racist is always going to point the finger back at you instead of looking at, and it's not even necessarily that you may be racist. That's it. It might not even be that. You may have stereotypes, racial microaggression stereotypes. A lot of people have those, including myself. We all do. We all do. I wouldn't say that I still have them. At least I like to think that I don't. If I do, I hope that I'm corrected. But I think that we all in life go through those types of things. And what's important, you guys, is to just listen when somebody's trying to convey it to you. Just listen and say, you know what? I never thought of it that way. Like if you have a racial stereotype, like all white people have straight hair. That's not true, right? All white people don't have straight hair. Some white people have curly hair. Some white people have straight hair. Some Caucasian people have like coarse hair. Every white person is different, or saying that all Black women are ghetto. You know what I'm saying? Those things, people do think that way. And I think the most important thing to do is just listen when somebody's trying to say, hey, that's not right. Now, I have friends who have done that. I have friends who grew up that way and finally chose to listen to other people and understood, wow, you're right about that. Blanket statements are so wrong referring to anything. I agree. Yeah, I went to her channel one single time, and she was actually trying to justify hold on, why does that always just she was actually trying to justify why that word is no big thing and that it's somehow biblical. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the thing that I do that I wanted to tell you guys is that you I don't use that word. It's serious. I take that word very, very seriously. And it's very, very easy for people to disregard what any minority is trying to convey by saying that they're playing the race card. And I'm not going to lie, there are some times when that is happening. There are some times where a person will use that to their advantage. We see that every single day. Anybody who does something wrong or treats a person some type of way or, talks behind somebody's back or because they think a certain way, just because a person thinks a certain way doesn't necessarily mean that they're a racist. Okay. That actually could mean that they have a microaggression. It could mean that they have a one track mind. It's just depending, like elderly people. There are some elderly people that are stuck in their ways and they're going to think the way that they want to think. But regardless, that is, I feel like, the problem with this world today. There are some people in this world that think that racism doesn't exist. And it's funny to me, you guys, because how can you say that racism doesn't exist if you don't have to personally deal with those issues yourself? How can you say it doesn't exist? You can't tell me that it doesn't exist if I've dealt with it my whole life. You just can't do that. But I hate that word. It's the only word bothered to figure out how to ban in my chats. Yeah. And then another thing too that I wanted to say is there is a video that I never watched by that creator, which you guys know all who I'm talking about. That recently I don't talk to anymore. There's a video that I never even watched until it was sent to me. I never watched it. I heard about it, but I never watched it the whole way through. And all I could say is, you guys, you just have to be very careful. Quit being so dismissive of what somebody's trying to say to you. Maybe try to sit down and listen to them and hear out where they're coming from instead of just standing for nothing, brushing it off your shoulder and saying, oh, that person's, she does that with everything. Because if I did it with everything, then I would have done it with every person that I fell out with. It doesn't work like that. And growing up in being, the only Black girl in my town and things like that when I was younger, I know what I had to endure, and I will tell you my story one day. But the point is that it's definitely something that can be used to divide us if we stuck together and listen to one another instead of judging one another and being so dismissive towards one another. We probably would actually get somewhere in this world. Racism is disgusting, nasty, gross. For me, I can honestly say I don't see color. I'm prejudiced against prejudiced people. I think everybody does, to be honest with you. In our society, there are a lot of that's it. That's you. Yeah, Mandy, thank you. Me and Mandy have had this problem before, but I never ever called her racist because I don't think that she is. But I'm not going to get into that because she apologized to me. She didn't mean it the way she said it, and I don't want to bring it up because we've moved on from it. But what I will say is that's the thing that people need to really, really, really take a look at. And that's the thing. There are some people that are very, very good at pretending that they're different than what they truly are. Some people are good at hiding things. That's something that you guys have to look at too. I have always said that I am ignorant when it comes to this topic. I don't have the experience. I listen and learn to those that have experience, and I always see color. I'm not going to address ignorant people. I feel the chat on a rant. I hate exactly. All right. And but I'm glad that you said that, Mandy, because that's definitely true. And I think that's definitely something that I experienced. But I just wanted to talk to you guys about I'm going to read some of these comments, but I just wanted to talk to you guys about that because, like I said, if we weren't so dismissive towards one another, I think we could actually get somewhere. But a lot of things in this world are fucked up. And I can tell you right now, this community as a whole is just getting out of control. Out of control. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And I know that you guys see that. You guys aren't dumb. There are so many people. There was somebody who made a post last night. Her name is Bambi. And let me tell you something. It was the most realist post. The things that she was addressing and just the way she's like, I'm getting the hell out of this damn community. She's like, I'm getting the fuck up out of here. It makes you feel extremely uncomfortable because they will act overly nice compared to exactly. I agree. Yes, Bambi has always been that way. She's always been a sweetheart. Hey, Steph, how have you been, girl? It's good to see you. But that is really what I wanted to say to you guys. There is a reason why I say the things I say. I don't just say them for no reason. And you don't have to agree with it. You don't. You are your own person. You could have your own opinion. But for goodness sakes, quit being so dismissive towards people. Because if you really think about it, with Kelly the Advocate, that whole thing where she she did make a public apology, you guys. She did apologize for that on her community post. But the point is that when she did that, she said 5 people went to her and told her that I called her a racist, and everybody in her comments, everybody who watches her is a racist too. Well, obviously that wasn't true. Secondly, that's inciting hate towards your audience. And thirdly and fourthly, if that is true, which that's what she said, then somebody told her that to make me look like I'm just this horrible person that just runs around and just calls everybody a racist. It was an agenda or smear campaign, whatever you want to call it, to discredit me. And like I said, she did apologize for that. I'm just using that as an example of things that happen when an African American conveys how they feel because of how they were treated. Here's the thing, you guys. When I talk to somebody, meet somebody, whatever, I look to their past depending upon the way that I'm treated. I could be treated nicely. Obviously, I'm not going to look to their past. But if I'm treated some kind of way that makes me feel a certain way, I'm going to look at their past, because not everybody changes from their past. Some people do, some people don't. Some people grow, some people don't. Some people stay the same, some people get fucking worse. That's just the way it is. Everybody's different. Everybody learns. If you take accountability for it and you're very apologetic for it, I guess that's different. But everyone has a past. And if you're treated a certain way, and then, this creator's talking all ghetto when she's talking about, no, when you're treated a certain way and those things are blatantly obvious, then you're going to look to that person's past because you're going to say, well, what the, you know what I mean? That's just life. That's what you should do. Because if you're going to change and be a better person, and, especially if your past was very much public the way that it was, for her, if you're going to change and be a better person, well, then the patterns that you have would change. You wouldn't just treat people any kind of way like that if you've changed. If a person changes, you have to go by their behavior. If they change, their behavior is going to show it. If they haven't changed, then their behavior is going to show that they didn't. It's very simple. Artists are always weirdos. I would know. Did I read that right? Artists are always weirdos. Okay. My forgiveness is deteriorating by the day. I'm 38 and I don't want people in my life that could and would hurt me. I 100% agree with you. But yeah, you're going to go by their, patterns of behavior, how they act, blah, 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 blah. And then you're going to, when you're treated a certain way, you're going to look, wait, what? Okay, now that shit makes sense. Now I get what people are talking about. Sometimes it takes people a short time to see how people are. You meet somebody, you see it like this, right? And then there's some people who take longer, and that's okay. Don't beat yourself up over it. Yes, I miss you too, Steph. It's so good to see you, girl. I'm so happy that you're here. But what else did I have to say, you guys? I got to bring up something else real quick, but this is not going to be anything about what I'm talking about. Let me read some of these comments first. Okay, I read that. I always want to know if I'm hurting someone. I don't get not listening to someone tell you what hurts them. Yes, that girl. I agree. Blanket statements. I read that. And some refuse to hear someone out. Agreed. I always thought that word was just a very ugly word. It is. I got a kazoo for Mother's Day this year. Kind of as a joke. My daughter is great. Oh, that's sweet. When we are willing to learn from each other and our experiences, we can create change. Thank you, Just Jill. You are so right. Online, when there's anonymity, people feel more comfortable. When you read racist comments under YouTube videos, don't get it confused because that's how the person really feels. I think you're right, Mandy. You'd be shocked by all the racist comments I've read under political. Oh, I bet. I don't even go on those political videos. I don't. And another thing too, you guys, what also I want to tell you guys is I know that you should never, I've never seen it. It was like in Legion. No, I've never seen it like in Legion. What is it? Tia, did you like the Natasha Cast cartoon? Never got your word about it. I've never seen it. But I'm sure that I will see it. Just tell me the name of it and I will go and look at it. Okay, hold on, you guys. I'm going to put up my screen real quick, okay? I lean more right and have been told you have to be a Democrat because you're a minority. That's not, I lean more right. I lean nowhere. I lean nowhere. It doesn't matter anymore. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to say. I know, you guys, that it's very, how do I put this? you should always see somebody's color. That's very important. You always have to see somebody for their color. You shouldn't judge them by the color of their skin, but you should always recognize the color of their skin and recognize the struggles. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm going to bring up something really, really quickly. And then if anybody has anything to say, I will open the panel if I have time to. Hold on a second. Let me make up a song for you guys. I don't know. Bring it up real quick. Oh, thank you, Angela, for sending that to me. I appreciate it. Okay, YouTube real quick. Where's my channel? Oh. I love it when you call me Big Mama. Throw your hands in the air if you was a true scammer. To the honeys and the mommies playing subs like dummies. Hold on, you guys. Because I see some subs tonight that should be giving me money. Oh my God. I gotta go to sleep, you guys. All right, hold on. If I can find it. Did I delete that video? Hold on, you guys. Damn it, I can't find it. This was a video. I couldn't see you guys. I just made that up. I'm losing my mind, you guys. Oh shit. Okay. I will try to find it on the next live if I talk about that shit. And it's just a video how I was talking about, even though it may be a distraction because I was doing makeup. This is when I did both at the same time. But I was talking about how you should always see color. You know, that's very important. That is very important. You just shouldn't judge somebody by the color of their skin. Siren's great. I have actually always really liked Siren. I've never said a bad word about Siren. I like the way he does his makeup. And I think that's the major thing. When I was cool with that other creator, I think there were a lot of people that talked a lot of shit about me, and I would have to be forgiving of those people though, because I don't know how that person has affected them personally. And even though you shouldn't do that and you guys should stop doing that, unless that person is talking about you personally, just because a person is cool with somebody that you don't like, it doesn't mean you have to drag that person. The only way that I would say that you should be compassionate towards people who do that. And the reason why, I've had so many people say, I seen all those people in your comment sections. Those people were talking mad shit about you. I've seen a lot of people in there talking mad shit about you, Tia, when you were cool with her. I get it. I get it. But I'm not going to tell people who I know the reason why they were talking shit about me. Do I condone it? No, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't talk about somebody. You should not talk shit about somebody just because of who they choose to be cool with. That's wrong on so many levels. But I also think that you should be compassionate towards people because, like I said, you don't know how that person personally affect the person that you're talking about. You don't know how the person that they're supporting personally affected the people that are bashing. You guys get what the fuck I'm saying, right? Like, it's not right to do that, though. I'm not even saying I didn't do it myself, right? I probably have. There's people that I probably talked about, but I feel like there's a lot of judgment being passed around here. I feel like there's a lot of people saying, well, you defended her and you were nice to her. Yeah, because I thought she was different, And another thing that has to be understood is that I may not have seen the things that you've seen. I'm not on YouTube all day. There's things I never seen before that I see now that people have sent me. And I'm like, the fuck? That doesn't, just because you know stuff doesn't mean the other person does. That's the thing that needs to be very, very clear. So a lot of people will get mad, like, oh my God, all these people, they talked about you when you were cool with her and they're in your chat now. What am I supposed to do? Tell all those people, go away. You were talking bad about me because of this horrible person that I choose to support. That wouldn't be fair, now would it? No. Tia needs the clips. What are you guys talking about? Okay, I need to make sure my Miss 14 is not within the earshot. Just had a call from the school because she stood up in class and told someone to... I'm sorry, Punky. That actually just happened to me not too long ago. My 11-year-old said a bad word because his friend did. I had to have a long talk with him. He was grounded from his Xbox. So it happens. I didn't think I was that loud this morning. Good luck in that circus. It's filled with ups and downs and absolute chaos. Okay, I'm missing some stuff. I still love my face paints, but they're heavy on your face and several of them smell bad. Exactly. It doesn't reflect you. Well, it depends, but let me take it up. I'm not normal, that's for sure. Exactly, Carrie. It's very important to always see somebody's color. Who has a good heart, Mandy? I'm missing. I guess I didn't go up further enough. Yeah, whoever you date is a reflection of you. It is. In a lot of ways, you are perfectly capable of making mistakes, but I was with an abuser a long time ago. He doesn't reflect me. There was just things there that I didn't see before, if that makes sense. Like, if you meet somebody and you might think that they're completely different, and then their true colors come out after, like, maybe a couple months. Sometimes it takes years. It just depends. But, with my past relationships, well, I've only been in 2, but, whoever you lay down with is a reflection of you. That's for sure. I mean, if I date a guy that was in an adult industry, I don't want anyone thinking I'd ever do that. Yeah, that's different though. You choose your friends and your partner, so they reflect your choices, personality, about exactly. I agree. It's just really crazy to me that you're in here liking, because you know, I maybe one day I will have you come up on panel and we can discuss why that's so crazy. But I'm not going to say, get out of here, liking, you're just this horrible, horrible person. But I will say that you definitely, I can't go by what that other creator says though, because she's has no credibility. So yeah, definitely. I have no problem with doing that. It's good to, you're right. That's what I mean, Mandy. All sides. You can't just go by what somebody else say, even though, we know what we've heard. But like I said, it's everyone has patterns and everyone's capable of change. I'm not saying nobody's not capable of change, but people are put into our lives to teach us something. It is up to us to realize what that lesson is. And if we are ready for it. I agree 100%. But I really do love you guys. It's been I'm just sick of this community, you guys. It's just been nothing but just horrible things happening. And can we say that it's gotten worse? I don't know. We can't say that it's gotten worse because I feel like it's always been this way. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's good to hear all sides, and everybody has their own way of thinking, as long as you're respectful. So here's what I will say about what's going on in this community, you guys, is I think that when people say that this community has gotten worse, I disagree. I feel like it's always been like this, but maybe it is getting worse. I don't fucking know. Like that's what it seems like though. It seems like there's just a lot of things happening at once, or maybe it's because I didn't pay attention to the things before. Does that make sense? Maybe I didn't pay attention to, people getting doxxed, um, kids being brought into situations, things like that. I just feel like those things never happened before. And now it's happening, or is it just because I see it? I don't know. It's just reading Bambi's post last night really made me think. I like how fair she was with people. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I like how Bambi was with people. I like how she was very fair, but in that same sense, she just told it straight up. Like, this community is a fucking dumpster fire. And she's right. Like, it is. I hope it gets better. Kids, you guys, obviously should always be off limits. Always. Kids, and you're crossing boundaries, and that should always be off limits. And what else? Doxing. Come on, you guys. Doxing. Who cares about where somebody lives? Who cares about that? I think this is brutal. This is a brutal community, and you have to have tough skin to be in it. You do. People just got a little bitterness in their hearts. It's now just more noticeable as we've all had more time on our hands through COVID. That's true. I can agree with that. I can agree with that, Punky. Stay out of someone's real life. I agree. Hey, Leah. But yeah, I think there's like a lot of lines being crossed to a point where once kids come in it, once you start doxing people and going real life, it's all fun and games when we're talking about each other, blah, 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 blah. But in my opinion, nobody should be talking about looks. But I guess we always need that one person that is going to go a little bit below the belt. But I would never be okay with talking about somebody's looks or things like that. But then when it comes to a certain creator that does that to other people, you can't get mad when it's being done to you, right? I don't have tough enough skin to curse hundreds of people out. I don't have a channel. Yeah, that's your choice. You have a channel. It's just whether you choose to be a creator or not. That's all. Bambi is a doll. I enjoy her channel. She is no BS like you. I love Bambi. I always have loved Bambi. Bambi, I've known for quite a while. And I'm really proud of her. And I hope she doesn't leave this community because I think that she has tough enough skin to be in it and to hold people accountable. I hope she doesn't leave. But if she does, I don't blame her. I don't blame her because is it going to get better? Probably, whatever. You guys know when it'll get better, right? If you don't have tough skin, you will get some. Yeah, you can develop tough skin or you can choose to leave because for some people, when it comes to a person's mental health, which is very important, your mental health should always come first. And it's crossing a line here where people's mental health is, being compromised. And that is sad. That's really sad. And that shows that I understand that if you feel like it's getting too much for you, you can easily just cut it off. But some people, it's hard for them to do that because they want to know what's being said about them. Like I don't want to know. I don't care. It don't matter to me, but some people they want to know. They want to know what's being said about them. I was a sweet, shy person before the Gabby case. I'm not, but I'm beautiful. Yes, you are, sweetie. Okay, let me go up a little bit here. I think the communities are just start to mesh together more. We're getting all the weirdos. Things get worse progressively over time in drama communities as things get amped up. See, I never really thought of this as being a drama community though. I guess now it is, but that's not really what it was before. It was like drama or true crime. I never really looked at this as drama, but actually that's what it's turning into. And also, isn't there supposed to be like a round table happening or something where maybe creators can figure something out and come to some kind of peace or whatever? Thanks, that girl. Oh, I'm a weirdo. I don't care. I embrace it too. Thank you for being here, Jill. I'm going to wrap it up in a minute too. I do commentary and makeup, so it's makeup and commentary. I really don't do true crime. I do true crime sometimes because commentary is really everything. But no, I don't do like just dedicated true crime. Ask the question respectfully. Have people not got anything more productive to do? Spend some of the time you spend digging things up on people on yourself. You may find that to be more rewarding. I agree. I agree with that, Nikki Rex. That's what I do. I'm not on here like that. Like I come on here maybe once a week, but I need to change that. I need to start coming on here more, and I am going to. But I have a life, and it's hard for me to be able to balance my life with, my kids, my fiance, whatever. It's hard for me to balance the two. So, of course, they're always going to win. So I try to get on here when I can, but there are many times where you got to step back from YouTube for your own sanity. Go to the mall, go to the park. It's getting nice out. I do not like just sitting and being on the internet. I just can't do it. It's too much. I used to, back in the day, I used to be obsessed with Facebook, but now, no. Life's too short for that shit. Yeah, that's true. I don't think anybody really wants peace, do they? There was other creators that had drama, like Life Perplexed, Robbie, Starlight, before I think I kind of started the Never drama when I began making videos about NC and the Kessinger channel. That's what I mean. I just never really considered this drama community, but like I said, you might as well say that it is now because that's all it's about. It's not about anything else but everyone addressing everyone. So frankly, that meeting won't work at the moment. That's only going to lead to more argument because NC doesn't want peace. Agreed. I agree, Lycan. Or Siren. I'm sorry. Krama, yeah. What did you say, that girl? I missed what you said. Well, I can't find you. Who's biased? Hey, AT2. That would be great. I would love to. If you want to get a hold of me, everything is in my about section. I would love that. Who is biased? I can't find that girl's comment. There are a few creators who want peace, but the ones who want drama constantly try to drag them back into the drama with them. You're right. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. I don't know everything that goes on, but if you're going to have a roundtable, it has to be with somebody who's unbiased, somebody who doesn't. Yeah, I get what you're saying. 100%. But you guys are giving me good conversation. I hope you guys see where I'm coming from with that. I do drama, I'm not going to lie. But I try to focus on uncovering truth, not spreading more BS. Yeah, here's how I look at it. I would definitely like to. I think I've been on panel with you once, that was on Natasha's panel. And I think I was trying to be fair because they were talking over you, and I was trying to say, let him talk. Let him talk. You know, we need to hear what he has to say. How are we just gonna let him on panel but talk over him? So I was trying to be fair. But I will say you definitely have a past of saying some pretty vulgar things. And I don't know how you are now. I don't know because I don't watch you. I can't judge somebody by I haven't watched you, so I don't know. All I know is things that were given to me. I'm a pretty reasonable woman, as long as you treat me with respect, but I cannot sit here and say I'm okay with the things that you said, because saying the N-word, no, that's wrong. And you could get on panel with me and tell me your reasonings as to why you did say it. If you still do say it, I don't know. But what I will say is that seeing you here in my comment section, I don't care. As long as you're being respectful, I don't care. But, oh, and the journal thing, that was wrong. That was wrong. I don't know if you apologize for it, but that was wrong. But what I will say is, as long as you're respectful, no, I'm not going to do that today, but we can. We can. But those kind of conversations can get really, really intense. But I can do it. I'm down for it. I'm always down for an intelligent conversation and hearing somebody else's side. I want to hear somebody else's side, but I'm not going to lie to you and say the things that I've heard weren't bad. Bad. But I'm not going to sit here and say, get out of here, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to do that as long as you're respectful. But I'm saying that was, yeah. But you know the things that go around about you. There's a reason why those things are going around about you, because people want to, you know, for whatever reason, people have their reasons as to why they do shit. But here I am. Who am I to sit here and say anything? Because in my personal opinion, by the way I was treated by somebody, I see them for who they truly were. And I didn't think they were that way. Everybody thinks a certain way, and then they change their opinions, you know, as they get into the real world and they see things and blah, 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 blah. That's a long story for another day. But I would be wrong if I didn't sit here and say, I've seen the things that you've said, you know, and they've been sent to me. Obviously, being cool with that creator, you guys can't stand each other. But I see your reasoning as to why you can't stand her. And I see her reasoning why she can't stand you. I see both sides. I have said some questionable things in the past. This is true. Some stuff is taken out of context. I also apologize for showing the journal entries. I know. And that's good. That's what I said. As long as you are respectful, Lycan, I felt you genuinely regretted showing the journal. Would you do it again? Yeah. Definitely AT2. There's a lot of stuff out there about you, you know, and there's nothing you can do about that. When you're a creator, it's inevitable. When you have a past, it's inevitable. But if you apologize, that's good. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as you apologize for it, right? But I'm talking about the other things, and maybe one day we can talk about this and go back and forth with it. But like I said, those kind of things get intense. So I would rather that be planned rather than just randomly do it. That girl, exactly. That's when it's a problem. I understand there are mistakes made along the way. Absolutely. I understand what you're saying. He's annoying but entertaining. He's grown a lot, Tia. I wouldn't be in his chat if he said it. Okay. See, I can't just look at things from one side. I can't do that. I have to look at things from another side too. And that's what I'm doing. Okay. We'll do it one day. I would like to. I like having those kind of conversations. I like a challenge. I like people to challenge my brain. So yeah, we can do that. All right. So AT2, you can get a hold of me. And we can definitely do that where we can just kind of talk about your past and talk about why you thought saying the N-word was okay, right? Tia Simone, one of these days I like to have a makeup discussion. Many white people, myself included, don't understand the differences in makeup techniques for darker skin tones. Absolutely. Yeah, we can do that, Saren. I would like to do that. Unfortunately, there's not a big selection for women of color. It's getting better though, like with Fenty and stuff like that, but it's not a like huge selection as it is for like Caucasian people. And my skin is more on the lighter side than the deeper tone side. So I'm able to find some foundations, concealer that matches my skin tone, but you have to think of somebody who is very, very beautiful, deep skin tone, how hard that is for them. And some people don't want to just buy Fenty, you know? Yes, I would like to do that. That's a good idea, Siren. Need to get in touch with Tia. Head over to the About page. Thank you. Thank you, Just Carrie. Love you, girl. So on IG, okay, thanks, AT2. You guys, I wasn't dropping. When we do the next live and tomorrow or the next day, I'm going to be dropping links. I always drop people's links to their channels. I have something open to where we'll do that next time. But everybody who has a channel, AT2, Lycan, That Girl, all of them have a channel. Look them up, subscribe. Who else has a channel? Anybody else? Well, Mandy C, she has a channel, very informational. If you want to know about certain people, go to her channel. Siren has a channel. All of these people have channels, so go subscribe. Check them out, okay? Thank you guys for listening to me. I appreciate that. I just wanted to talk to you guys and let you know that just quit doing that shit, man. Quit disregarding what a Black person says by always saying that. Maybe just sit and listen instead of automatically just assuming, and saying she's playing the race card. She's doing this, she's doing that. All that does is disregard what a person says. Don't think I'm not stupid. I know what you're doing. And you can do it all day if you want to. I don't care. But what I will say is keep doing that, and this country is always going to be divided. Maybe sit and listen to where somebody else is coming from. Listen to that person's perspective instead of just throwing them off. And also quit judging people. We all make mistakes. Everybody does. Ever made a mistake where you wish that you never did it? You wish you would have listened to people, okay? You wish you wouldn't have never, I don't freaking know. You wish you wouldn't never sent this. You wish you wouldn't never talked to this person. You wish you would have never been friends with that person. We all make mistakes. Quit judging people because it's annoying. And most of you people who are judging people are literally the worst. Okay? You're judging people because of some kind of self-gratification or whatever the fuck it is that you're doing. I don't know. Don't care. Just quit judging people and quit automatically assuming that a person is supposed to know just like you. Everybody's different. We all have our own individual, unique personalities, and we all make choices, and those choices follow us. And we have a choice. We can learn from it or we cannot. And just never learn and continue to be closed-minded and continue to be stuck in the fucking past. Get over it. Okay, that's it. I love you guys so much. I hope you guys liked my song that I randomly made up. I will be back on here tomorrow probably. We will do that. It's going to be an intense conversation, I can tell you that much, but I'm up for it. We'll find a way to get a hold of each other. So I will see you guys soon. I hope you guys have a good night. Thank you guys for being here and listening to me. I love you guys all. You guys are amazing. And you made my night. I am going to go eat some ice cream. Okay. I'll talk to you guys soon. Deuces. Bye.